must learn to let go. And to master the avatar state, you must open all the chakras. Surrender yourself.
Okay, I'll try.
Avatar The Last Airbender represents the soul's journey towards integration. It illustrates the intricate balance of one's personal and societal struggles while showing and telling how to find inner peace and stability in our lives. Aang and the ones he meets along his journey serve as archetypes for the types of people you may identify as or meet along your journey. Each foe and ally encountered has a particular set of traits which define them. Underneath the themes and physical story, Aang's journey is an allegory for the soul's discovery, outlining to us the steps one must take on their path towards integration. To see how you are the Avatar, we will start with identity and trauma.
Those were some of my favorite toys when I was little.
The toys you picked were the 4 Avatar relics. These items belong to Avatar's past.
I just chose them because they seemed fun.
You chose them because they were familiar.
I fear that war may be upon us, young Avatar.
Aang goes from being an innocent, fun-loving child to feeling obligated to conform to the world. Society and parental figures create friction between how Aang views himself and what the world calls him to be. He develops fear of losing the life he knows in favor of work and duty he did not ask for. Suddenly, nothing is the same.
Your affection for the boy cloud your judgment.
All I want is what is best for him.
But what we need is what's best for the world. The Avatar will be sent away to the Eastern Air Temple to complete his training.
Aang's fear drives him away from the Southern Air Temple at the moment it is attacked by the Fire Nation. Eventually, he finds himself still having the same responsibilities he ran from, only now he blames himself. From this point onward, anytime Aang is faced with the prospect of losing someone he loves, he becomes very agitated and defensive. Pain that isn't felt in the body becomes alive and responds to our environment. And until we have enough awareness, we become like a tape recorder, doomed to repeat the past until we are capable of holding and embracing the emotion.
It must have been so horrible and traumatic for you. I saw you get so upset that you weren't even you anymore.
The major goal is to become capable of being with your emotions, regardless of where they come up and how it feels in the body. Not only do we sometimes blame ourselves for the traumatic experiences that happen in our lives, we become fearful of what we're capable of. We become fearful of hurting people in the same way we were hurt. Avatar makes it clear to us the way towards healing is through love and compassion for ourselves. This concept is exemplified through Katara. Katara isn't afraid of Aang's big emotions. She sees the hurt in him and is strong enough to be there.
Monk Gyatso and the other airbenders may be gone, but you still have a family. Sokka and I.
When we come into this world, we are a blank canvas waiting to be written. From birth, our journey can take us any number of ways. Avatar The Last Airbender shows us what happens when we are shown unconditional love and encouraged to express ourselves during childhood.
1, 2, 3.
Versus when we are conditioned with fear, anger, and contempt.
You're sick, and I want my knife back, now.
Who's going to make me? Mom?
Azula? Yes! We defeated you for all time! You will never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation!
The opposite polarities portrayed in the show serve as examples we can look at as to how life may play out. If you swap your life circumstances for Aang's, or another character's, you might find more than a few similarities. Until we are able to acknowledge what happened in our lives without shame, we stay like Aang is before he masters the Avatar state. Now, your Avatar state may not look like mass destruction or control of the elements, but it can look like being frustrated with someone and beginning to scroll on TikTok. Maybe someone cuts you off in traffic, then drives slowly and you want to fight them. Maybe you shame yourself for forgetting something important, so you feel compelled to go shopping or to play video games. This is not to say there is anything wrong with doing any of these things, but that we should become aware of how the events in our lives cause us to default to certain behaviors or to avoid others.
Energy flows through your body. As you see, there are several pools where the water swirls around before flowing on. These pools are like our chakras.
So, chakras are pools of spiraling energy in our bodies?
Exactly. If nothing else were around, this creek would flow pure and clear. However, life is messy, and things tend to fall in the creek. And then what happens?
The creek can't flow?
Yes, but if we open the paths between the pools,
the energy flows.
Aang's healing deepens once he learns about his chakras. Allowing his feelings to be there and being brave enough to challenge his assumptions is what begins this process.
There are 7 chakras that go up the body. Each pool of energy has a purpose and can be blocked by a specific kind of emotional muck. Be warned, opening the chakras is an intense experience, and once you begin this process, you cannot stop until all 7 are open.
The show not so subtly tells us about the energy centers in the body. The color of Aang's visions corresponds to the color of our chakras. Releasing emotional energy stuck in the body is not just integral to healing, it is integral to more fully recognizing what you are. You must become aware of the ways in which you are triggered by circumstances. An emotional trigger is a strong reaction that happens when something in the present reminds you of a traumatic event or painful experience from the past.
what are you most afraid of? Let your fears become clear to you.
Ridding the body of emotional trauma is a painful process, and you can never unsee what arises in your awareness. There must be a willingness to look at the things you seek to avoid.
You are concerned for your survival, but you must surrender those fears. Let your fears flow down the creek.
Without attaching more concepts and beliefs about what transpired, what is truly needed is for you to accept and allow the pain to be there, and to feel it fully without narrating the experience. Healing is done in the body. The simplest way to start is through the breath. A technique I like to do is deep belly breathing, and I do this while putting all of my awareness onto my breath. Oftentimes, my mind is racing though, so it's taken me a bit to get used to actually doing this practice. There is an app you can use called Lotus Bud. It really helps me. It doesn't steal your data or anything crazy, at least not to my knowledge. Lately, I like to remind myself that I was strong enough to hold the pain up until this moment, so I'm strong enough to be here with it now.
Accept the reality that these things happened, but do not let them cloud and poison your energy. If you are to be a positive influence on the world, you need to forgive yourself. This chakra deals with willpower and is blocked by shame. What are you ashamed of? What are your biggest disappointments in yourself?
You only want to do this process when you feel supported by someone, or when you feel emotionally safe enough and secure enough to handle it alone.
Why didn't you tell us you were the Avatar?
'Cause I never wanted to be.
You cannot lie about your own nature. You must accept that you are the Avatar. Things you think are separate and different are actually one and the same.
Like the 4 nations.
Yes, we are all one people, but we live as if divided.
We're all connected. Everything is connected.
That's right.
Each trigger you experience is the doorway through which you have the ability to choose. Repeat the past, or remind yourself that you are so much more than your pain.
Flow down the river. forgotten.
I know I've made some bad choices, but today, I'm gonna set things right.
Avatar The Last Airbender shows us what happens when we try to give in to or resist our emotions. Until Aang is capable of accepting his past and is truly ready to move forward, his emotions take a shape of their own. He quite literally cannot handle his guilt and fear, and so they begin influencing his conscious decisions. The same idea is seen in the character foil of Fire Lord Ozai. Ozai frequently feels angry, unsatisfied, unsatiated. His constant dissatisfaction is both a symptom and facilitator of the violence he inflicts upon himself and others. His story is paradoxical in nature, as his inherent low self-worth drives him to create circumstances outside of him which affirm that he is more worthy than anyone else. If he truly believed himself worthy, why would he need to prove to anyone else that he is? His pride is just shame wearing a suit and tie.
I shall be reborn as the supreme ruler of the world.
The decisions the Fire Lord consciously makes are fueled by an unconscious desire to be seen and loved. He has taken assumptions likely made during his childhood with an underdeveloped brain to be facts. He believes himself to be in control when in fact he is entirely controlled by his past. We see in real time what unfolds when someone believes what they are doing is serving their highest purpose. And once they realize it is not what they truly desire, they crumble under the weight of expectations that were never their own to begin with.
What a shame. You always had such beautiful hair.
Many of us, like Aang, feel compelled to conform to society, whether it be to fit in at school or to trade our time and energy to work for basic necessities. Like Katara, we have or will at some point experience loss at the hand of uncontrollable circumstances. Like Zuko, we may have to reckon with the notion that what our parents taught us is true may not be our truth. At the end of the day,